At a time when the obesity epidemic is overwhelming healthcare systems around the world, it might surprise you that what you thought you know about calorie counting may actually be wrong. Let's take a step back for a second. Food is the energy supply for our bodies. Enzymes in our digestive tract break down the energy carried within food in the forms of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. We generally calculate the energy trapped within a food with a unit known as calories. Carbohydrates and proteins provide about 4 calories per gram, while fats provide 9 calories per gram. Calorie counts on packaging labels are based on these numbers. However, these approximations are based on laboratory experiments, which are then extrapolated to estimate the amount of calories that people derive from these foods. New research in human biology and nutritional science has revealed that this assumption is far too simplistic. There are a number of factors that influence exactly how much energy someone's getting from a given food, including the composition of bacteria in one's gut, how much energy the body expends to break down different foods, and how the food is cooked or prepared, which changes the food's structure and chemistry. In principle, calorie labels will always be flawed. Even if 2 people eat the same diet, they would not extract the same number of calories out of it. People have a variety of intestinal lengths, enzyme production levels, and bacterial makeups in their digestive tract, which all lead to different caloric intakes. Some researchers have even proposed that some people are obese partly because they possess extra bacteria in their gut that makes them more efficient at harvesting the calories contained in food. So food labels can never be accurate on an individual level. The number of calories we extract depends on an enormously complex interaction between food, the human body, and its microbial army. But nutritional science is attempting to make food labels vastly more accurate. For instance, food labels currently do not take into account the digestibility of each food, or how much energy it requires our body just to break them down. For instance, the US Department of Agriculture found that although a serving of almonds is reported on the label to have 170 calories, when people eat almonds, they receive on average just 129 calories per serving. In general, proteins require much more energy to digest than fats do. On the other hand, sugary foods barely require any energy at all to be digested. They are very easily broken down and absorbed. They also induce the production of the hormone insulin, and recent research suggests that one of the causes of weight gain might not be due to consuming too many calories, but might be due to having elevated levels of insulin and other hormones for long periods of time. Current nutritional facts also fail to account for the effects various cooking techniques have on how much energy we get from our food. Rachel Carmody, a former PhD student at Harvard, tested the effects of food preparation on energy consumption. She fed genetically similar mice sweet potatoes that were either raw or cooked. The mice were allowed to eat as much as they wanted for 4 days. The mice that were fed raw sweet potatoes lost around 4 grams of weight, but those on cooked potatoes actually gained weight. This is because cooking and processing food increases their digestibility, allowing us to extract more energy from them. But before all of you start adopting raw diets, know that cooking is probably what allowed our ancestors to evolve such large and complex brains. It allowed us to extract more energy from less food. Otherwise, studies suggest, our ancestors would have had to eat for over 9 hours per day. So next time you cook dinner, think about how much you share in common with your ancestral past. But while we inherited cooking from our hominin ancestors, we no longer share many of their concerns. Most of us living in developed countries no longer worry about starvation, but we now worry about the abundance of food and eating too many calories, which has led to the growing obesity problem. For now, food labels are not very accurate, but they're the best we have to estimate what we are putting into our bodies. And while modern research is finally correcting for a lot of their inaccuracies and revealing the science behind obesity and nutrition, there is still much work to be done.